today's lesson is going to be multiplying fractions fluently. Super easy. You'll be fine. So when I was in math in junior high, Mrs. Burleson taught us all how to multiply fractions super easy. She wore a cheerleading uniform and did a cheer in front of the classroom for all of us. And it was multiplying fractions. That's no problem. Top times the top and bottom times the bottom. So here we go. So I'm just going to remember that. Multiplying fractions. That's no problem. Top times the top and bottom times the bottom. Okay, so 3 times 1 is 3, and 5 times 2 is 10. And that is in simplest terms because 3 is a prime number and it will not divide into 10. So I don't have to simplify that at all. All right, the next one is 10 times 1/3. Now, multiplying fractions, that's no problem. Top times the top, bottom times the bottom. This one, 10, it doesn't have a bottom. It's just a top. So I'm going to rewrite it as 10 over 1 because if you T-bow that, top in, bottom out, it would be 10. So I'm just going to rewrite it as 10 over 1, which you guys should know that by now anyway. I'm just proving it to you. So I'm going to do 10 times 1/3, or I could do like this. Okay. Multiplying fractions, that's no problem. Top times the top and bottom times the bottom. Now, that is not in simplest terms because that is 10 over 3. So I'm going to T-bow it. And I know that 3 will go into 1 0 times. 0 times 3 is 0. Anything times 0 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. And I'm going to bring down this. Okay, now 3 will go into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. And 10 minus 9 is 1. So 3 and 1/3. Okay? Okay. If you have a question, raise your hand. Pause the video first. Let me do a couple more and then we'll be done with this section. Okay. Next is negative 5/8 times 7. Okay? And we discussed this earlier last week about the tic-tac-toe method where we could do plus, 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 negative, 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 negative. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cheat and I'm going to go ahead and move it. So I have a negative times a positive number. I know my answer is going to be negative. So I'm just going to leave my negative right there. Multiplying fractions, that's no problem. Top times top, bottom times bottom. 7 doesn't have a bottom. You know, that'd be really weird if people did not have bottoms. How would you poop? How would you expel gas? I don't know. Okay. So we know it's going to be a negative. So 5 times 7 is 35, and 8 times 1 is 8. That's top heavy, an improper fraction. So what I'm going to do is T-bow it, but without a decimal. Top number in, bottom number out. 8 will go into 3 0 times. 0 times 8 is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. I'm going to bring down my 5. 8 will go into 35 4 times. 4 times 8 is 32. 5 minus 2 is 3, and 3 minus 3 is 0. So we have 4 and 3/8. So it's actually negative 4 and 3/8 because of this. So don't forget to pull that over. Okay, don't forget that because there's a big difference in positive 4 and 3/8 and negative 4 and 3/8. Okay, I'm going to leave that there in case I need it. My little cheat sheet. Okay. All right, we got 2 more. All right, so we got 5 and 1/4 times 4 negative 4 and 2/3. Okay, so what we have to do, and we know our answer is going to be negative because we have a positive times a negative, it's going to be negative, sorry. Okay, we got to Texas 2-step. So in order to multiply these fractions, we could T-bow this and get a decimal. That's not going to work with that because it's going to be a repeating decimal. It's going to be an irrational number and we won't get the correct answer. So we're going to Texas two-step our 5 1/4. So we know our denominators will stay the same. Okay, so we have 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 1 is 21. And then we have 3 times 4, which is 12, and 12 plus 2, which is 14. Okay, when we're turning a negative fraction, mixed number, into an improper fraction, we don't follow this -4 to add. We just pull it to the side and just worry about doing the fraction. Okay. All right. So now we got 21 times 14. Woo! Can't do that one in my head. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Drop a 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. We got 4, 9, 2. Okay, so we have 294 over 4 times 3, 12. Okay. Got to T-bow this, but not with a decimal. So 294 divided by 12. Okay, 12 will go into 2 0 times. 0 times 12 is 0. Okay, we got 9. Okay, 12 will go into 29 2 times. 2 times 12 is 24. And 9 minus 4 is 5. And we'll bring down the 4. Oh, and remember, I got this feeling that 12s are great. 12, 24, 36, 48. The big 60, 72. Oh, I went too far. And actually, you can't see. So we'll go to 4, because if we go over 4, if we go 5, we get 60. That's more than that. Okay, so 4 times 12 is 48. 8 to 14, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 6. So we have 24 and 6 twelfths, which we know this can simplify. We can divide them both by 6, and we get 1/2. So it's negative 24 and 1/2. Okay? Any questions? Pause and raise your hand. One more, and this one's easier, but it is a mixed number, but there's no negatives. Okay, one more, and then we got one more thing to do. 2 and 2/7 times 1 and 1/8. Okay. So I'm going to Texas two-step this. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. And then Texas two-step this. 8 times 1 is 8. And 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, now, I know 7 times 8 is 56. I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, 16 times 9. 6 times 9 is 54. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. 144 over 56. Woo, I'm on a... Now, this is even over even, and I can reduce this right now if I want to. If I want to divide them, or I can wait to the end. I'm just going to wait to the end. Just a preference. Okay, so I'm going to T-bow 100, and I need to go up higher. Sorry. I need to T-bow 144, top in, bottom out, 56. Okay. 56 will go into 144. I want to bet 2 times. I bet it's not more than 2. 12. We'll see. 56 times 3, 18. Yeah. So it's only going to go in 2 times. So 112. So we got 4 minus 2, which is 2. 4 minus 3. So we got 32 over 56. Now I know that I can, for sure, divide by, I could divide by 4, I think. I'm going to try 4 to reduce. Okay. So if I divide by 4, I'm going to get 8 over 56 divided by 4 goes in 1. Okay, so 8 over 14. So I know that I can divide 8 over 14 by 2 over 2, and I get 4/7. So 2 and 4/7 is what that equals. Okay? So remember, if you're going to have mixed numbers and you're multiplying, we need to turn them into top heavy. You know, like, we need to make them into Dolly Parton. Okay? Bigger on top than we are on the bottom. That way it makes our multiplication easier. Okay? If you have questions, raise your hand. So you may see word problems asking you to multiply fractions like 1/4 of 2/3. So this is what you can do with that. You can change the of to a multiplication. So if you did 1/4 of 2/3, okay? So the of means we're going to be multiplying. So top times the top and bottom times the bottom. 2 over 12. And we know that we can reduce by 2 over 2, which is 1/6, okay? So I do want to show you something else too. When you're multiplying fractions, okay, let me just do this. Let me do this. This is just a trick, and if you don't understand it, don't use it. So if we did 1/4 times 2/3. If we reduce before we multiply, you can do it like this, okay? So these can't be reduced anymore. They are reduced as much as they can be. But I can now cross. So if I look at it as 1/3, like this, if I looked at it as 1/3, that's reduced. But if I look at it as 2/4, that is not reduced. So 2 over 4 can be, I can divide both of these by 2. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. What's 4 divided by 2? 2. So then you're basically multiplying 1/2 times 1/3, and 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 3 is 6, which is what we got. So if you cross-reduce or reduce before you multiply, saves you a lot of trouble. I'll give you another example. Let's see. Let me do this way. Let's do 4/6 times 3/8, okay? Now I can reduce this way, or I can cross-reduce before I multiply. So I'm going to cross first. So if I do 4 and 4/8, 4 will reduce, 4/8 will reduce. Okay, so I'm going to divide them both by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay? Now I'm going to cross-reduce this way. 3 will go into 6 3 times. Or 2 times, I'm sorry. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now I'm multiplying 1/2 times 1/2, but not really, but let's see. 1/4. So if I did it like this, 4 times 3 is 12, and 6 times 8 is 48. If I divide these both by 12, I get 1/4. Okay? So if you like that little trick, you can do it. If you don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's just a little tip or trick.